What is up, everyone? So just finished up the trading day about, I don't know, an hour or so ago. Um, I would say it's a pretty decent day. I do feel much better now after, because since about a week ago we did lose quite a bit of money on the My Funded Futures account, which did set us back a little bit, but we're kind of back on track. And today I kind of just finished the day, and we just need $100 profits for the My Funded Futures account in order to get to live. And today was the last day to get our fifth payout, and those 30 days needed in the funded account of $100 days in order to go live. And we will be requesting that money after the trading day's over today, and we'll kind of see what happens when they put me to live, which is it's definitely exciting. Um, and we also did finally get a temporary account on Perdia, um, which had a starting balance of like $3,000. But after today's trading day, we were able to put it up a little bit, which is good. So I'll just kind of go over the a few trades that I took for the day. At market open, or a few minutes before market open, we were in an interesting area and to go for potential longs. Um, I say that because if we look at the volume profile on the 15-minute time frame, let me make it a little bit bigger and just zoom in a little bit. Market open was somewhere around here, and you can see that even now there is still a low volume node right here. So we were kind of in this area, and I was just looking for a potential bounce. So if we get rid of this, oh, also my tunes. I gotta put the tunes on. There it is. So if we kind of look at this, at market open, we're in this area, which is of that low volume node area. So I was kind of more in favor of the potential longs. So, just waiting for the same thing that we always look for, that retracement back into a 50% level. And we do get that multiple times. We get that 1, 2, and 3 times here, which is a little suspicious. But I do take a long entry here, but getting stopped out here, you can see that this is our swing low and this is our swing high. So as long as we kind of get tiny high and tiny low within this region, I'm fine. I'm going to get rid of this low volume node. So yeah, I took an entry here to go to the longs, to the upside once this candle closed, but probably should have known a little better to not enter if we got 1, 2, 3 straight down candles inside this zone that I had drawn out. But I saw the entry opportunity, so I still entered. Lost about 10 to 15 points depending on which account I was using, because the order fills are different and everything on those accounts. So then I got stopped out, and then I saw that there was another opportunity here with this tiny high and tiny low, so I kind of just waited for price to kind of come back in there. I could have entered here or even here, but I just didn't like how I got faked out here. So I wanted price to, if this was an up close candle, I would have wanted price to kind of close above here or break down here. If this is an up close candle, I would have wanted price to kind of close up here. But since price ultimately did not do either of those, I did not enter, which is a good thing I didn't enter for the longs, because you can see that we kind of just went down. But then there was the last opportunity here. This whole range right here is part of like a 144 range bar, and we kind of retraced back into the 50% level to the downside, and you can see that we do get that high swing high there, and then a swing low there. We get that tiny high and that tiny low, same thing we're always looking for. And I didn't really see this at the time. I just wasn't really paying attention, I don't think. So you can see that we got that tiny high, that tiny low, nice rejection off this zone entry, and we are able to also close below the swing low, as well as this order block that was formed in the original demand zone, or the original supply zone from the tiny high and the tiny low. But price was also moving fairly quickly. All of this kind of happened within a minute, like right here. So it was moving fairly quickly. And I just didn't take the entry. So then I was just waiting until I saw another opportunity. But I just kept getting stopped out at break even. Remember, once I'm in 5 points of profit, I'll kind of move my stop loss to break even. Most of the time, I tried to, because I'd rather just get stopped out at break even than having the price kind of reverse on me. So like, great example is right here. We enter long. Obviously, my fills weren't necessarily the best. But it's okay. And it's the same thing like what I'm always looking for, the swing high, the swing low. Then we have tiny high right here, tiny low. We get a nice bounce off. So I definitely should have entered here, and I would have been able to get filled out pretty much where I entered. So it was definitely a bad part, or bad entry on my part. But it's all right. So yeah, we get stopped at a break even, which is fine. And then another entry right here, but get stopped at a break even as well. And then finally we're able to take another entry here. I like this entry just because it wasn't part of my model, but I just saw price kind of going down at market open. And then all of a sudden we're kind of having a bounce up. So I was like, okay, you know what? I think it's going to be one of those days where market kind of goes in one direction, but then like automatically it just gets bought up again. And what I mean by that is, if we look at the 15-minute, this is a 15-minute candle. So this red bar is the very first 15 minutes of market open. So you can see we have an aggressive push to the downside, but then after this candle closes, we have an aggressive push to the upside. And what helps is that we're also in the low volume node / demand zone area. So to me, I was like, okay, you know what? I kind of feel good about that, about this bounce. I did think we were maybe going to bounce closer to this pre-market point of control area. Excuse me. But it hasn't happened. We maybe got within 60 points of it. That's honestly still not, that's still like a pretty big margin, I would say. But yeah, so like we just sold off in the market open, then we just got bought back up. So I felt kind of confident once we had like a 144 bar close fairly bullish. And by fairly bullish, I mean like it's one of these bars where we have like a magenta color on the bottom, and then the bar is cyan color. That's just like a couple indicators that I made to kind of just help me tell me if there's relative strength or weakness within that range bar. So I saw the relative strength, so I took my chances on entering long here, and I took another chance entering long here as well because we were able to close above here, and then one more time here. But this was actually based off my model play. You can see that swing low, or that swing high, swing low, then swing high, swing low, tiny high, tiny low, and then I entered off of this candle. I entered like maybe literally like 5 microseconds or whatever before this candle closed, just because I saw the model occur on the 89 and the 21 R. And since I saw that kind of occur in this area, I felt pretty confident in going long. That's what I mean, like everything's fractal. So as long as you can find like a couple time frames where they kind of go align together and match, then you should be set. Like just use those time frames. Like for me, I use the fib numbers, and I found what works for me, and you just gotta find what works for you. But yeah, so I took that entry as my last entry on all my accounts, and it wasn't bad. I was done for the day for sure on my funded accounts. But then I saw another opportunity on, I don't even know where it is. I know I saw another opportunity somewhere that I just took this trade opportunity on my 2 take profit accounts. So you can see here that we have that swing low, that swing high, then we get a confirmed close to the upside with this tiny high and the tiny low, then we just have a nice bounce. I definitely could have entered on this bounce right here, but I was just like, no, you know what, I'm gonna wait a little bit. And I only targeted 5 points because for my take profit accounts, I don't know if, I think I'm just gonna try to get them to like $300 a day. And then if I'm able to do that, then I could easily pass this within 10 trading days. So within like 2 weeks. So I think that's what I'm gonna try to do. Excuse me. But yeah, so, you know, just could have entered there, but I wanted to make sure that we were able to close above this high, because, you know, there's just been a couple fake outs recently. So I just wanted to make sure that we were able to close above this high. We do get a close above this high, which is good. And then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be extra cautious. Let me wait for a retracement back into this tiny order block that was formed based off this zone. We get that here, and I enter as soon as this candle closes. But as you can see from right here, there's hardly any volume here. The momentum was just crazy. So unfortunately I wasn't able to get filled at like 63 or 64. Instead I got filled in at 69.5, which is fine. I was just starting at 5 points, but you know, that fill order was just not it. You can see, let's see. Yeah, this candle right here was literally like 2 seconds, 1 to 2 seconds. No volume in there whatsoever compared to, like, you know, volume up here or in here. So it just moved fairly quickly. But yeah, that's pretty much the last trade I took, and you know, price is doing its thing, doing whatever. Don't even know what it's doing right now. It's kind of just still kind of consolidating in this area. So definitely want to stay away for now, for sure, because we're just kind of in this area, and for the past hour or so we've just been ranging here. No true breakout to any side, so it's a little risky to enter a position. But yeah, so that's pretty much all the trades I took for today. I think it was like 4 or 5 trades, maybe 3 or 2 break-even trades, 1 loss and 2 wins, or 3 wins maybe. I'm not even too sure. But yeah, you know, just stick true to your model and you should be fine. And I'm not out here telling you like, oh, follow my model, listen to my plan because I'm right. No, my model has its flaws. Everything has its flaws, but consistently over time, it shows that it's what works for me. And you know, what works for me may not work for you. So it just depends on your trading style, I guess. But yeah, so with that being said, you know, just follow your system and everything. And peace.